People talk about wicked stepmothers like it's a fairy tale. Mine wasn't. She was real. She lived in a house. She used the same kitchen, the same plates, and she used food the way some people use punishments. My name is Ugochi, and this is the story of the woman who turned her home into a place where hunger had a schedule and kindness had an expiry date. When my father remarried, everyone celebrated. They said he had found a gentlewoman who would help raise Amara, my sister, and I with care. Her name was Dumebi. The first day she entered our home, she knelt to greet my father's relatives, smiled at us and said, "Don't worry, I will take care of these children as if they were mine." And for a while, she did. She cooked with us in the kitchen. She told us stories at night. She braided Amara's hair with patience and sang softly in the evenings. She laughed easily, walked lightly, and made the house feel warm again. I remember thinking, maybe this is what a mother feels like, but everything changed the moment she had her first child. The morning after she gave birth, she looked at us differently, eyes colder and smile thinner. She no longer asked if we had eaten. She no longer braided Amara's hair. She didn't tell stories. It was like someone had switched off a part of her. My father didn't notice at first. He stayed busy, traveling for work and trying to provide for all of us. But Amara and I noticed every little change. The way she suddenly preferred her children, the way she measured her portions with suspicion, the way her face tightened whenever we entered the kitchen. We didn't understand it then, but we would soon understand her fully. Her love had conditions, and we were no longer included in them. One afternoon, Dumebi cooked porridge yam, rich with vegetables and small chunks of meat. Her children sat at the table, laughing with their plates full. Amara and I waited for hours. Dumebi placed two metal plates in front of us. Both were almost empty, just porridge water with a few yam lumps floating in it. "Eat quickly so that you wash the plates," she said, already turning away. We didn't argue. We didn't even look at each other. We just swallowed what we could and tried to ignore the hunger. Another day, she boiled eggs for her children, 3 each. She watched them eat, smiling. When we asked if we could have some, she didn't raise her voice. She simply said, "There are no eggs for you today, just drink water." Everything got worse when she started separating food into two pots. One pot for her children, fresh, plentiful and well spiced. The other pot, the one meant for us, had burnt rice and leftover food pieces in it. She made us cook the nice food, season it, stir it, then wait while her children ate it. Sometimes she asked us to carry the plates to them so the smell would follow us back to the kitchen like a reminder. She locked the good food in a cupboard. She hid the key inside her wrapper. We once saw her tuck it tightly near her waist like treasure. At night, when her children cried from overeating, she comforted them. While we cried from hunger, she snapped, "Don't disturb the house. Go and sleep." If we looked weak, she told the neighbors, "These children like pretending. They want pity." But we weren't pretending. Our bodies were changing. Amara's cheeks sank. My clothes hung on me like they belonged to someone else. Still, my father didn't notice. Whenever he came home from his trips, Dumebi behaved like the model wife, serving us full plates only when he was watching, laughing as if nothing was wrong. And when he left again, everything went back to the way it was. One evening, Amara gathered courage and whispered, "Stepmother, please can we have a little meat?" Dumebi didn't shout. She didn't smile either. She turned slowly, looked at Amara from head to toe, then said, "You are lucky I even allow you stay in this house." It wasn't the words that broke me. It was the way she said them, firm and final, like a statement she had been waiting to say. That night, Amara cried softly until she slept. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, listening to both of our stomachs growl. The house felt heavier, the shadows looked longer, and I knew this wasn't the worst of it. The worst was still coming. It was a cold, grey day. Rain had been falling since morning, turning the compound into mud. Our stomachs were empty. Our bodies felt heavy. Dumebi cooked a large pot of jollof rice that afternoon. Bright red, thick, perfectly seasoned, with pieces of meat we hadn't tasted in months. The smell filled the whole house. Her children ate first as usual, their plates piled high. They laughed while eating, dropping grains on the floor without care. When it was our turn, Tumebi placed a small plastic bowl in front of us, burnt dry rice from the bottom of the pot. My sister looked at the food and whispered, "Ugochi, my stomach hurts." I felt something snap inside me. It was anger, hunger, helplessness, all squeezing together. When Dumebi stepped outside to collect clothes from the line, I stood up and walked into the kitchen. The big pot was still warm. I lifted the lid and the sight almost made me dizzy. Soft jollof rice with fresh meat. I took one small spoon, just one. Then I fed Amara a tiny bite. She closed her eyes, chewed slowly like it was the first real food she had eaten in forever. I wiped the area clean, closed the pot, and prayed she wouldn't notice. But she did. She walked into the kitchen. Her eyes went straight to the pot, like she had been waiting for a reason. She didn't shout at first. She stepped towards me slowly, like every step was a warning. "Ugochi," she said quietly, "who touched this food?" I tried to swallow. My throat felt tight. She asked again, louder this time, "Ugochi, who touched this food?" Before I could answer, she grabbed the front of my shirt and dragged me across the kitchen floor. I fell twice. She didn't care. She grabbed Amara too, pulling her by the wrist so hard my sister cried out. "Thieves!" she shouted, "stealing from my children." She dragged us outside into the rain, barefoot, shivering, wet from head to toe. Neighbors looked from behind their curtains, some from their doorways, but no one stepped forward. We sat in the mud, cold water soaking through our clothes while she kept shouting inside the house. Minutes passed, then hours. The sky got even darker, and then we heard footsteps. My father, he had returned earlier than expected, carrying a traveling bag, his face confused and alarmed when he saw us outside. "What happened?" he demanded. Before we could speak, Tumebi rushed out, fake tears on her face. "My husband, your children stole from the pot. I'm trying my best. These children want to destroy this home." My father didn't answer her. He walked past her, straight into the kitchen. He lifted the pot lid. He stared inside. The food was almost completely untouched. Just one spoon missing. He turned slowly, his face stiff, his jaw tight. "This is the food they stole?" he asked Tumebi. Tumebi froze. For the first time, she didn't have a prepared lie. My father's voice rose, not the usual anger, but the kind that comes from betrayal. You let these children starve while you fed yours like royalty. He demanded the truth, and everything came out that night. Dumebi stood silent, her eyes melting one by one. My father didn't beat her. He didn't shout again. He simply said, "You will never serve food to my children again." But he stepped out of the kitchen and told us to come into the house. He cooked for us himself that night. Warm rice, sweet stew, meat cut into small pieces so that it would go round. It was the first real meat we had tasted in months, and it was the night everything in our house finally changed.